Stand up and dance, huh? Good possibility. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, okay. I have a few announcements. First of all, Marilyn, thank you so much for your beautiful music this morning. Always beautiful. This Wednesday evening is the first Wednesday of the month, so it is drumming circle. Woohoo! So everyone is invited to drumming circle. If you don't know a thing about drumming, it's okay. We have drums available and other percussion instruments. It's just fun to kind of get out of the ordinary and into just a playful nature of rhythm and playing together with that. So that's at 7 p.m. this Wednesday. Also coming up very soon on February 16th, for the women of all ages, we have the Red Tent. That will be Friday, February 16th, will be open from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. That will be through dinner time, so if you would like to bring some type of food or a snack to share, we would appreciate that. It'll be set up very similar as in the past. We'll have some circle time and other activities. If you have questions, you can ask Tamara or I, and if you would like to help set up, please let us know as well. We'll be doing that on that Friday. Let's see. We have coming up, oh boy, we're in a new month, February, so we have a new handout with all of the new affirmations on it over there. And this is the month that we will start our third Sunday workshops with Yolanda. And so she has a little note on here. Gosh, if there's, I forgot to check if there's more handouts. There's not. I'll put some more handouts out for these workshops because these will be going on the whole year of 2024 on each third Sunday. If you feel stuck or unable to move forward, this is where she excels in her facilitation of workshops. She offers topics like radical acceptance, self-compassion, practical applications for daily life. She uses tools like reconnective healing, brain integration, and cranial sacral. So if you have questions, I'm not sure if Yolanda's here today. I'll make some more Oh, there she is. You can ask her, and I will make some more handouts. Those are after the potluck, and they will last for 1.5 hours, and they will be on a love offering basis. So that's coming up this third Sunday. Let's see. I got that. Coming up soon. I know you've all been waiting for this. Our CSL annual business meeting is coming up. So that will happen on Sunday, March 3rd. Actually, they're very informative and they're kind of fun. I do blab on a lot about numbers, but it's fun to find out what's going on. It gives you the inside story of where your money that you have given goes to the center and how we're dealing with that, what our plans and goals are for this coming year. So that happens. Everyone's invited. If we have any voting that goes on, only members will be able to vote, but other people can come to the meeting. And that will be on Sunday, March 3rd, and it will be directly, we'll go down and get some coffee and we'll throw you a granola bar and we'll come right back up so we can get going. March 3rd. Also, tax statements for your tithing are in the lobby on that little round table. Listen, are your ears on? Alphabetical order. Okay, so if you need that, that's there. One other announcement here. So classes are going to start soon. The Basic Principles of Science of Mind class starts Thursday, March 7th. That will be from 6 p.m. to 8:30 every Thursday through April 25th. That's an 8-week class. There's a sign-up sheet on the table. The cost is $150, which includes a workbook. If you've already taken the class, you have your workbook. We call that an audit, and it's $100 to audit that class. So this particular class is a basic class in Science of Mind, and it is required if you ever want to serve on the core council at this center. So, and we will be teaching that once a year, and here it is, March and April. Okay, sign up if you are interested so I can see how many books to order. Questions, just ask me. I might have an answer. Let's see. I guess that's it for announcements. Can you think of anything else? Anybody? No. Okay, so, I know, be careful. That's exactly right. Okay, so let's speak our purpose statement together now. And this is 2 slides, kind of a lot of words, but I really invite you to mindfully read it and really embody and take those words in and look at what we have going on here. Here we go. As an intentional spiritual community, the purpose of CSL is to be a living environment for individuals to realize that we are all unique emanations of God, the love intelligence governing the universe. We embody the truth of our oneness with God, and we consciously practice this truth in our everyday life. Through the exploration of new thought, ageless wisdom, and the energy of unconditioned love, we are dedicated to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence in the world.
within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
And in this stillness, please join with me in that sacred place as we go within, where there is only one life, one presence, one power. And this divine presence is ever present, always available, all-knowing. And I enter into this awareness, knowing that this one divine life is the essence of my being, the essence of all beings, of all life. It is the source of all creation. And realizing that the divine presence is the center of my being and the center of everyone's being, I know and I declare that this recognition flows through our entire consciousness, that we let it reach down into the very depths of our being, rejoicing that this is our truth, that we are free because the spirit of life in us is perfect, and realizing our unity with the divine. We release thoughts, habits, and behaviors that no longer serve us. And we let go and open to that power of the divine that is active, living as us right now. And fill with the confidence that this divinity is our divinity. We are confident that our needs are met. We are confident and trust in the goodness of life. Our affairs and life situations reflect our recognition and the use of this truth, as everything comes from our awareness of that which we truly are. And this divine essence is active in each prayer requests and the desires in your hearts, that the healing presence of Spirit is in the midst of each request, bringing forth the goodness of life, guiding, directing each to a greater expression of life's goodness. And in this goodness is abundance, health, joy, vitality, peace, and comfort. We are that which God is, and we claim in our prayers our birthright. So I bless the service, the volunteers, and the staff, knowing that each one brings forth an expression of love in action, that we are blessed by the message, by the music, by the volunteers, and by the camaraderie with each other, knowing that each one of us is a unique, diverse expression of the divine. And so in great gratitude for this remembering of our true nature and our awareness of who we truly are, I release this prayer into the law, knowing it is already so, that it is divine in expression, as we join together and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm tired again. Get ready, my soul. I'm tired again. To the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning. I'd like to call your attention to the prayer chest just down the stairs and to the left. If there is something that seems to be clouding your remembrance of who you are, please leave your request in the prayer chest, and the practitioner will be doing affirmative prayer on your behalf this week. From Ernest Holmes: peace is the power at the heart of God. It is through the revelation of the self to the self that one understands life, that we approach the power at the heart of God. When you know the nature of your true self, the insults of others are like arrows shot at the stars. It's from Dean Jackson. And from Emmanuel, by choosing to be our most authentic self, we leave a trail of magic wherever we go.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lou. Great, great quotes for today. Let's see. So we have a new focus for February. In case you didn't notice, January just whizzed right on by. So our focus for February is reclaim your true nature. And I'm basing the messages on this book, Finding Your Way in a Wild New World. Reclaim Your True Nature to Create the Life You Want, by Martha Beck. Anyone familiar with Martha Beck? Mm-hmm. So actually, the book that I had ordered that I thought I was going to use of Martha Beck's was, what's that called about integrity? The Way of Integrity. I thought I was going to use that, and I ordered it. And then I think this is someone's book in here. I found it on the desk or in the used books or somewhere. And I picked it up and I'm like, And so I started looking through it and got very interested in it. And it was set up in a way that I thought, oh, this will be a good thing to present. And she's quite a good writer. I like how she writes. So today's message is wordlessness. Wordlessness. So I'm going to read the back of the cover of this book. It says, Finding Your Way in a Wild New World reveals a remarkable path to the most important discovery you can make, the knowledge of what you should be doing with your one wild and precious life. It's the thing that so fulfills you that, if you knew what it was, you'd run straight toward it through brambles and fire. Life coach and best-selling author of Finding Your Own North Star, Martha Beck, guides you to find out how you got to where you are now and what you should do next, with clear instructions on tapping into the deep, wordless knowledge you carry in your body and soul. You probably have sensed that you have a higher calling and a quiet power that could change the world. You lack only the tools. With her sparkling prose, Beck draws from ancient wisdom and modern science to help you consciously tap into that power and develop those tools for transformation. You'll also find your inner identity and your external tribe of like-minded people. Experience the spark of inspiration and take action to make a lasting impact on the world. So obviously, I cannot go through every page of this book in 1 month. And she starts her book by explaining how she got to be a life coach. And then how the people that she served, she realizes, are very much alike in that they are all searching to reclaim their true nature. She calls these people wayfinders. Who's heard of wayfinding or wayfinder before? It's after the ancients who used nature to find their way in many different ways, on the seas, trackers, things like that. She refers to these people that she serves as a life coach as healers, although she prefers to use the term menders. And she explains that in her book, why they're like mending the world by becoming whole and finding their true nature. She says they are everywhere, looking for purpose and looking to serve the world in a higher way. So when I was reading this, I sensed that you too are wayfinders or menders, or you wouldn't be here in a center like this. So, I think together here as a community, we are wayfinders and menders in the way that she's speaking about it. So this book was written in 2012, And I'm just going to do the best I can to present what I think are some of the highlights. And of course, if you get, you want to get more deep into this, you'll need to get the book and read it. 20 minutes each Sunday is not very long to present it, but maybe it'll just give you an inkling of what it's about, and you can dive a little deeper into it. She's got her book divided into 4 segments. And today we're going to look at part 1, which is what she calls the first technology of magic. Didn't you have magic in your quote today? Isn't that funny? The first technology of magic she calls wordlessness. Who's heard of that word before? Wordlessness. She says wordlessness shifts consciousness out of that verbal part of the brain. A lot of people call that like that left side, right? And into the more creative, intuitive, and sensory brain regions, like that right side. She says, which is more powerful? Well, the verbal region processes about 40 bits of information per second. The nonverbal processes about 11 million bits per second. She says, you do the math. So I'm going to read a little bit out of her book to start giving you a sense of what she has to say here. And this chapter starts out, it's called Quick Ways to Wayfinding. And so this is a little story, so just sit back. She's in Africa, okay? So this place she's talking about is in Africa. It's 5 o'clock on a typical morning in Londolozi. Several guests have met in the pre-dawn darkness to pile into an open Land Rover and head out for a photo safari game drive. The vibe in the vehicle is jubilant, part adventure, part cocktail party. The guests introduce themselves, chat about families, jobs, previous vacations, and the animals they hope to see. They pepper the ranger with questions. What's that tree called? Why is that bird purple? Is it always this cold in the morning? Is that elephant dung over there? The ranger answers with encyclopedia knowledge and enthusiastic good humor, adding to the celebratory feel. The man sitting on a chair welded to the very front of the Land Rover is behaving very differently from everyone else. He's a tracker from the Shangayan tribe, whose English name is Richard. He's polite, but rarely speaks or even looks at the guests. In fact, he doesn't seem to be doing anything in particular, just gazing expressionlessly around him at the ground, then the sky, then the ground again. Every now and again, Richard raises his hand and the ranger turns off the Land Rover. As the tourists grow restless, Richard appears to do even less than usual. He just sits there looking around. Then he mutters a few words in Shangayan, pointing into the bush. Hold on, please, says the ranger to the guests, and drives straight into the thick scrub. For 20 minutes, the Land Rover barrels through tall grass, over largest saplings, across deep sandy washes, and into the dense thorn bushes. The guests jolt and joke. Just as the sun turns the landscape a luminous golden green, Richard points to a clump of brush near an abandoned termite mound. There, almost invisible in the brush, where the mother has hidden them, sit 2 leopard cubs, their fuzzy ears and bright, curious eyes just visible over the grass. The guests squeal with delight. Cameras click furiously. Questions fly thick and fast. How old are the cubs? Why isn't the mother there? Are they male, female, one of each? How big will they get? Are they hungry? Do they eat meat, or are they still nursing? Why do they have spots? Why don't lions have spots? Why do zebras have stripes? As the ranger supplies all the requested information, Richard sits silently with that daydreamy expression. In the flurry of inquiries about leopards, no one asks an arguably more interesting question about him. How in God's name did he find 2 tiny, silent, camouflaged animals 3 miles from any road in dense brush? The answer could be a very long one, detailing all the tiny cues, hunches, and educated guesses that lead a master tracker to the thing he's hunting. But the most basic reason Richard can wayfind with almost miraculous skill is that he's a master of the first technology of magic, a state of awareness that I call wordlessness. This brain state is the most important skill for any wayfinder in any culture, in any situation. She says wordlessness is a destination in itself, a core aspect of your true nature. It connects your consciousness with that deep peace and presence that is the essential you. Deep wordlessness eliminates virtually all the fear, anger, or regret that bedevils most humans most of the time. That's why it's taught by the wisdom traditions of virtually every culture except our own. It's the opposite of what you were probably taught during your own education. She says it's pretty safe bet that your education, dear reader, consisted of sitting in airless rooms, listening to lectures, reading books, and taking tests in which you interpreted verbal or numeric questions and tried to give exactly the answer your teachers already knew. If you couldn't do this, you were shamed and punished, or perhaps diagnosed with a learning disability and medicated to the point where you could focus exclusively on words and numbers. If you did this well, you were praised and rewarded. If you spent too much time outside playing, you experienced punishment and failure. Screening out everything but words, you were taught, is the way to create a good life, to find the way in your world. As Richard sits at the front of the Land Rover, he's doing on land what Polynesian wayfinders do at sea. He's thinking with his whole brain, the 11 million bits per second nonverbal part, rather than the 40 bits per second verbal region. To find our way in a complex world, we need an awareness beyond language, the wayfinding state of our true nature. She calls that wordlessness. In his autobiography, the psychologist Carl Jung, one of the great wayfinders of inner life, described a conversation that he had with a Native American chief named Mountain Lake. Mountain Lake gave Jung a very frank account of the way his people saw Europeans. Their eyes have a staring expression, the chief said. They are always seeking something. What are they seeking? The whites always want something. They are always uneasy and restless. We do not know what they want. We do not understand them. We think that they are all mad. Jung asked Chief Mountain Lake to elaborate. Why exactly did white people seem so insane to the Indians? They say they think with their heads, responded Mountain Lake. Well, why, of course, said Jung. What do you think with? We think here, said Chief Mountain Lake, and he pointed to his heart. This is the key to wordlessness. According to wayfinders from all times and places, and it's not just metaphorical. To navigate the wild world, you need to move your basic perceptual and analytical thinking out of your head and into the whole inner space of the body. This is how you begin to find your way through a terrible loss, a fulfilling career, a complicated relationship, or a broken heart, as well as the ocean or the African bush. Menders of all times and places have taught that silencing the thoughts in our heads and opening to the experience of the body and emotions is the basis of all healing. It's the only means by which we can reclaim our true nature or feel that subtle cue telling us to find our way through life. So what she talks about as wordlessness, does that remind you of anything else? Anything else that you've read? Or it's what a lot of people say, but I've never heard the word wordlessness before. Eckhart Tolle calls that inner space or presence, right? Where you can get out of that thinking mind and into that feeling of the presence. So he's got this will be a little bit of a participatory service today. So if you're not comfortable with that, then don't participate. And if you are, then do participate. Either one is fine. He has a little exercise in here. So this is from his book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Some people feel more alive when they travel and visit unfamiliar places or foreign countries because at those times, sense perception or experiencing takes up more of their consciousness than thinking does. They become more present. Others remain completely possessed by the voice in their head. Even then, their perceptions and experiences are distorted by instant judgments. They haven't really gone anywhere, only their body is traveling, while they remain where they have always been, right in their head. Can anyone relate to that? You're someplace else, but you're still in your own head, just thinking and thinking. This is most people's reality. As soon as something is perceived, it is named, interpreted, compared with something else. It's liked or disliked or called good or bad. It does this by our ego. Wants to name and label everything. We're imprisoned in thought forms in the object consciousness. You do not awaken spiritually until the compulsive and unconscious naming ceases, or at least you become aware of it and thus are able to observe it as it happens. So he wants you to choose an object close to you right now. Anything, any kind of an object. It'd be better if it's not a person right now, just an object. A pen, a chair, a cup, a plant, and just explore it visually. Look at it with great interest and almost curiosity. Without straining, but relaxed and alert, give your complete attention to the object, every detail of it. If thoughts arise, don't get involved in them. It is not the thoughts that you're interested in, but the act of perception. Can you take the thinking out of the perceiving? Can you look without the voice in your head, commenting, drawing conclusions, comparing, or trying to figure something out? After a couple minutes, let your gaze wander around the room or wherever you are. Alert your attention on each thing that it rests upon. Then listen to any sounds that may be present. Listen to them in the same way as you looked at things. Some sounds are natural. Some are man-made. Some are pleasant, others unpleasant. Don't differentiate. Just allow each sound to be as it is, without interpretation. Just relaxed, alert attention. When you look and listen in this way, you may become aware of a subtle and yet perhaps hardly noticeable sense of calm. Some people feel it as stillness in the background. Others call it peace. When consciousness is no longer totally absorbed by thinking, some of it remains formless, unconditioned in its original state. He calls this inner space. So I really like the term wordlessness that Martha Beck uses because it's new for me. And it causes me to see things in a new way. The same old thing in a new way. Wordlessness, without the words. Taking language, she goes into really deep detail about language and how Americans in particular are obsessed with language, or and we are, like, aren't we so proud of our child? We tell them, we name and everything, and we label everything, and tell them how everything is, and what to do, and how to speak, and we're proud of that. And, you know, I did all of that, but we're not teaching necessarily a different way to perceive wordlessness, and sensing that inner presence within everything, that essential background of the infinite, invisible intelligence that upholds and is the maintainer and sustainer of all things. We don't necessarily teach that. We don't teach that in school, that's for sure. Less naming and labeling, and more presence or essence. This is what she's calling the first technology of magic in finding your way to your true self and claiming a life that you love. In wordlessness, we tend to see life in a more whole way, right? That 11 million bits, rather than fragmented, separated, compartmentalized, and already all figured out. You know, we've got it all figured out, but it's all from past experience, right? We can only figure something out from what we've already known. That's what we do, instead of experiencing it in a whole way without judging already what it is. So I wonder, here's the participatory part. If you could look at your neighbor sitting next to you right now, and instead of seeing them as all of the names and labels that you have for them, whatever they are, see them by experiencing their presence. Look into the windows of their soul, their eyes, even if just for a minute, and have no thoughts or words whatsoever. Just feel the essence of life itself, the presence underlying all of creation. Can you find someone to do that with? Really connect in those windows of the soul. It is here where the magic of wordlessness is. No preconceived ideas, no past experiences, no naming or labeling, no words, just that infinite, invisible in form as this person. And now, can you close your eyes and turn your attention inward to your own soul self? And again, transcend any words, any labels, any judgments or names about yourself, and just feel your own presence. Tell yourself, I feel your magnificence. You can say it out loud. Because now you're going to turn back to your neighbor and tell them, I feel your magnificence. All right, come back. In her book, Martha Beck gives many practices and exercises to enter that state of awareness that she calls wordlessness. I can't share them all today. It's just one, part one with many chapters in it. But I can share one more, and that is the path of sacred play. Okay? It's probably time for you to come up. The path of sacred play. Let me read just a tiny bit of this for you. She says, some of my clients become frustrated when I begin coaching them by telling them not to think. Then I ask them to play around. What are we working on, they sometimes say. When do we start solving my problems? If that's how you're feeling, rest assured that finding ways to wordlessness is prepping your entire consciousness to act as an automatic wayfinder, which will plot your course through life better than any set of goals and plans ever could. Wayfinders of every culture, they court deep play with a sensuous rigor bordering on mania. To figure out our own best course through life and to serve the world as our heart's desire, all team members, she's calling all menders, team members, that's you guys, you're team members, must learn to play like we mean it. So she's talking about, when she talks about tribe, this is a different tribe. When a troubled member of a traditional society went to the tribe's healer, the healer didn't open the discussion with questions like, how long have you been experiencing spleen discomfort? Or what exactly is your deductible? Instead, he or she asked when the person stopped feeling spontaneous joy, stopped singing, stopped dreaming. In other words, wayfinders need to know. Wayfinders need to know when the sick, stuck, depressed, or failing patient stopped playing. Any confident traditional healer with access to modern medicine will gladly recommend a splint or antibiotics for someone with a broken leg or an infection. But for the soul sickness and stress-related illnesses, wayfinders know that playing to the point of enchantment is the necessary medicine. So she's got different ways to play. Dropping into wordlessness through sacred play. The path of sacred song, singing together. The path of sacred dance, dancing together. The path of painting your visions. All types of sacred play rouse the wordless right hemisphere of the brain. My observation of many, many clients is that they access wordlessness more often in their daily lives, and their daily lives begin to change in small ways, then in large ways. They begin choosing activities and behaving in ways that bring more interesting, playful energy into their work and relationships. Eventually, everything they do begins to feel like play. So, have you been too serious lately? When was the last time you acted silly? Probably here in church, right? Last time we acted silly in church. Not all of you. Playing, laughing, getting lost in silliness really is one of the fastest ways to drop into your true natural self, where you can access your very own innate wisdom for life, which is forever flowing to you from within you. The magic of wordlessness allows you to become aware of this infinite presence and to use this wisdom to choose and create the life that you want from that place of 11 million bits per second rather than the 40. Anyone want that?
Oh, yes. You're so silly.
So what?
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be. You know that there are. If you want to live high, live high. And if you wanna live low, there's a million ways to go. You know there are. If you do what you want, the opportunities are. If you find a new way, you can do it today. You can make it all true. You can make it undo. You see, oh, it's easy. Oh, you only need to know. If you wanna say yes, say yes. And if you wanna say no, say no. There's a million ways to go. If you wanna be me, be me. And if you wanna be you, be you. 'Cause there's a million things to do. You know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunities are. If you find a new way, you can do it today. You can make it all true. And you can make it until you see. Oh, it's easy. Oh, you only need to know. If you wanna sing out, sing out. If you wanna be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be. You know that there are. If you wanna live high, live high. And if you wanna live low, live low. 'Cause there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. You know that there are. You know that there are. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I know is you. Everything I find, everything we go, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything I find, everything we go, everything I know is you. Cause you are very ivory. And your perfect love created
ushers come forth, this is our time to consciously participate in the law of circulation. So if you take your gift in your hand, and remembering that I am a part of spirit, that these blessings have come freely to me, I easily and effortlessly let go of this, knowing that it circulates, doing good, and comes back to me multiplied in many ways. And our affirmation:
I am rich in health, wealth, peace, and prosperity.
You are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
I hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of God.
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 I hold you in my heart.
I hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
And these blessings are gratefully received as they go forth, blessing our church, our community, and our world. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you. So I'd like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. Welcome to CSL. We have some coffee and refreshments and great friendships and conversation going on downstairs, so I invite everyone down there for that. If you have questions about our center, Tamara will be running around here. She can answer most of your questions. She also has the ability on the little square, if you'd like to use your debit or credit card for anything that we take money here for, she can do that as well. I'd like to remind you to sign up for class if you are thinking of taking class, and it's okay to change your mind. I just need to know how many class books to get, so that sign-up sheet is over there. I'm going to go open the bookstore, so it will be open. I forgot that this morning. I don't know why, but I'll go down and do that. So if you'd like to look around in the bookstore, that will be open. Otherwise, I think that we are ready to claim our good. And so we have all new up here. So I'm going to give you a second just to look at that, make sense of it. And then we're going to speak this together all the way down, all together in one voice. Here we go. God is my source and supply. Form is the body of God. Thought is the master of form. I direct my thought towards harmony, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. love